Technician training. Peers in my field, we used to be called mechanics. Why is that an outdated term? One way to put it, there is very little mechanical that we are repairing on cars now. And here's what I mean. We have cars that can park themselves, that can drive themselves, that can stop themselves. Everything on the car is automatic. If something on that car is not acting like it should, or it doesn't work anymore at all, who is the one who fixes it? Not the engineer who designed it. It's me, the technician or mechanic that you call a uneducated, dirty grease monkey. I'm the one who's fixing all the holistic multitude of complex systems in your modern automobile. And so unfortunately, tomorrow's gonna be the start of 2024, and here we are in 2024. There is still this extreme stigma that we are just, quite frankly, dirty and uneducated and shouldn't be paid that much. Here is just some of my training. ASE Master Certification. So I have been ASE Master Certified for probably more than 10 years now. Still active to this day. What is an ASE certification? Again, really simple. It is a certification that says you understand the basic principles of these automotive systems, right? So there's an ASE test, for example, for steering and suspension, brakes, electrical, air conditioning, engine repair. To be ASE Master Certified, you need to pass 8 tests. Each of these tests gets you certified, and they need to be renewed every 5 years. What does that mean? Is that I am studying and taking tests all the time. We're gonna get some comments below about how ASE tests don't mean anything. I agree. They are not the best measurement of how proficient a technician is, but unfortunately in our field, it is the only measurement. California smog license. It is a lot easier to get your smog license now. They separated out the license types so that it used to be the strongest smog license you could get was called the enhanced area license, and that means you could work at a test and repair station. What do you need to do to get your California smog license? Or at least back in my day, the big bad enhanced area license. Get 3 ASE certifications, and arguably the most difficult ones. Engine performance, electrical, and then the hardest ASE period. L1, Advanced Engine Performance Specialist. I personally had to take that test 3 times in order to pass L1 and be L1 certified. So 3 ASEs, and we're not done yet. California Clean Air Car Course. So California Clean Air Car Course, I believe it was 2 nights a week for a semester. So 6 months, 2 nights a week, 8 hours of class. You had to take this course called the California Clean Air Car Course. We're not done yet. 3 ASEs, Clean Air Car Course, and then finally you can take the test to get your California smog license. Keep in mind, at the time of taking that test, I believe it had a 70% failure rate, and we're not done yet. Once you pass the California smog license test that has a 70% failure rate, we're not done. You must renew your license every 2 years. What does that include? So 16-hour update course. So every 2 years, there's an update course. I would do the Saturday, Sunday course. So 8 hours on Saturday, 8 hours on Sunday. So every 2 years, I'd probably have to take time off because I used to work a Saturday schedule and spend 16 hours to renew my smog license. So you guys keeping score? 8 ASEs I need to renew every 5 years. California smog license I need to renew every 2 years. Factory training. Typically, whatever manufacturer you work for, they have their own training. So, if you go to the Honda or Subaru portal, they will have their own training for sales, technicians, service advisor. Sometimes the trainings would overlap. I know one year it was a requirement that we did some online service advisor training, which again, keep in mind, I don't think service advisors even need to do the service advisor training, nor do technician training, but we have to learn their job. Daily training. As a technician, you should be learning daily. What are some ways I had to learn every day? Researching technical service bulletins. There'd be new TSBs every day, new recalls. Sometimes these TSBs or recalls would get updated so that there's a new repair or a new part that you do for the same symptom as before. The old TSB is outdated. So you constantly had to stay up to date on what was the most up-to-date repair for this recall or TSB or specific issue with this vehicle. Working for Subaru, there was also the tech tip newsletters. I believe it was a monthly newsletter that would have tips and basically like updated like service bulletins for technicians. but still important because, you know, if you did not read your Tech Tips newsletter, you might run into something and, you know, be like, I've never run into this before. What am I supposed to do with this? Or what is this extra part in the valve body? Does this go in the car or not? You know, there may be that Tech Tip newsletter might have like, oh, the part it gets shipped with is superseded. Do not use this part for this repair anymore. So yeah, important you read through all the Tech Tips newsletters daily. This was all my active training. This doesn't include the 2-year AS degree in automotive technology that I probably spent 3 years getting because, you know, I've always had to work and go to school at the same time. This also doesn't include the previous 2 years of a trade school when I was in high school. All of this that I just mentioned is the active training that a technician has to do throughout the entire career. Your training and education never stops as an automotive technician.